Good day, sport lovers. You are welcome to another special edition of Sport Flashback on Rich TV. My name is Chokube Adaba. On this edition, we are going to give you trendy hot gists that happened during the week. Sporting news, I mean. The ones that you must have missed, or the ones that you probably knew, but you don't really know what really went down. We are going to give it to you right here on Sport Flashback. But as usual, I won't be doing this alone. I have a co-host, a guest, a sport analyst. I know you are used to seeing Keke of Lagos. Unfortunately, Keke of Lagos is not going to be available today because of some reasons best known to him. But next edition, you will see him. On today's edition, we have a former editor, Sports Day. I mean, former weekend editor. His name is Raymond Waduba.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adaba. It's good to be here, and I want to believe that the fans and the listeners will be happy to be with us right here on this station. Thank you so much.
Of course, happiness is all we give on Sports Flashback. You will be happy watching us. You will even be happy after watching us that I'm sure you will load your data to keep on subscribing to Rich TV, which I know you will do. We'll be back to give you the trending hot sport gist that happened during the immediate past week after this short timeout. Stay tuned. Welcome back, sport lovers. All right, straight to the gist, the main gist that we are bringing to you live on Rich TV. We are going to talk about the Olympics. Do you know why? Because the Olympics is only in a few weeks' time. The Euro will be ending very soon, and of course, the world will be centered on the Olympics. Mr. Raymond, Olympics, Canadian boxer Majid Bujud finally has been given the license to participate in the Olympics after being initially denied because of pregnancy.
Yeah. I think it would have been a great injustice on the part of the IOC and, of course, the boxing task force who did a retroactive decision. But the lady felt very, very bad about it, and she had to contest or appeal that decision with CAS. That is sports arbitration. Now called for sports arbitration. And when she went there, I think they saw the reasons, because you can't stop somebody who should have been at the Olympics, 11-time Canadian champion. It would have been a great miss if she wasn't at the Olympics. But when they looked at the case very vividly, they found out that, look, that decision was not our own making, because the qualifiers was meant to be early this year, but because of the COVID-19, they had to decide to use games or matches that were held in 2018, 2019. And as at that time, she was pregnant and was observing her maternity leave. So that would have been a very big injustice. Well, thank God, and I'm happy for her that that decision was overturned by CAS.
Of course, we're happy for her, because the Olympics in recent years has been so strong, but it seems this edition was going to miss a lot of big stars. Fortunately, this one will not be missing out. So great one for boxing, great one for Olympics. Now, Olympics football, Olympics women football. Initially, they had an 18-man squad. Then later, they were allowed to carry 22 people to the Olympics, but 4 will be on reserve. But now, the latest gist we're having now is that they are allowed to carry 22 full squad to the Olympics, no more reserve. The 22 players will be part of the team. What do you have to say about this?
Let me give you the background. You see, players in recent times have always been complaining that they play too many games in a season and they get, tired and all of that. So I think the World Football Governing Body is looking at every opportunity to ensure that players, get some reprieve. So anything that will make players to have a little rest or have more men or more women in their team will be welcomed by the World Football Governing Body. And I think that's the rationale behind the increasing the team from 18 to 22, so that at least they will have more people to look at the bench, and that's a very welcome decision.
All right, the increment in manpower for the football only affects the female Olympic team. As for the male Olympics team, we don't know what the Olympic organization will do about that. But until they do something, for now, we only have information that the female Olympic football team will be increased from 18 to 22. We'll be back to give you other interesting gists after this short timeout. Stay tuned.
UEFA Euro 2020 round of 16 full schedule. Match 1. Match 2. Match 3. Match 4. Match 5. Match 6. Match 7. Match 8. Round of 16 will begin from 26 June 2021. Which is your favorite team?
Welcome back, sport lovers. Mr. Raymond,
Yeah.
tennis, Andy Murray, Dan Evans, the British tennis players, they were involved in the Wimbledon. Do you know how it went down?
Yeah. They had their third round matches, but unfortunately for them, they were both bundled out. Murray lost embarrassingly to Sharapov, while Dan Evans lost to Sebastian Koda. I think it wasn't good enough for the Brits because the British representative were expected that while in England, Wimbledon for that matter, they want to go all the way to the final or even making it to the fourth round. But unfortunately, this time around, it was not to be as they lost to Minos, as it were, because if you look at the pedigree of Andy Murray, you will know that he's somebody who has won the championship previously, and everybody expected that he should go all the way. But unfortunately, I think this is not the best of time for Andy Murray, and he should come back next year to see how well he can fare. But for this year, it's goodbye Murray.
Definitely, it's goodbye Murray. But next year, you will come back stronger because we know Andy Murray. Andy Murray, if you remember that name, he has always been a great tennis player. This is just a trying time for him. I know he will come back stronger next year. A sad one for British tennis, if I'm to say. But I think there is something good coming out of Britain. Finally, Bianca Williams, the British athlete who was racially abused by Metropolitan Police, she was in a car with her son and her partner, and she was racially abused, and she has been fighting for justice. Finally, she has found the justice. What do you have to say about this?
I think that's a good one for justice because I can't just imagine that in the 21st century, 2021, things like racism are still being heard from Britain, a very advanced country. I mean, it's disappointing because people should not be looked by their colors nor any other sentiments. But it's a good one that justice has finally prevailed, and I think that's the right way to go because police, some people, because they are law enforcement agency, take it to the extreme, and those are not some of the ethics of the profession. I think it's good that they have been knocked in place, and that's the way to go. And I think I'm happy for her, for that justice that she has finally gotten.
Justice, justice, justice. Everybody is always happy when they get justice. Bianca Williams will be the happiest woman on earth right now. And I think I want to make a special appeal, or we at Sports Flashback on Rich TV want to make a special appeal. Let us kick racism out of this world, not just out of sports. We are one people, just different colors. Colors don't matter. What matters is the intentions we have in our hearts. That's a good one for Bianca Williams. Nice one, nice one. Keep it up. I wish you luck in your future endeavors. Now, let's talk about Euro 2020. Great things are happening in Euro 2020. You know what? The round of 16 took place and a lot of big teams lost out. Quarterfinal games also happened. But right now, I want to talk about the round of 16. What went down in the round of 16?
In fact, it's a big upset. Like they say, football is like biscuit. You never know where exactly it may crack. I think in these Euros, the minnows or the underdogs have taken the front seat. And the question now is, will the minnows or the underdogs successfully stage a coup to ensure that they go all round to win the coveted trophy. But the big ones, the big guns, the traditional teams that we know could also prove that they have what it takes. Because so far now we have teams like Italy, who has also made it now, after their game last night. They've made it to the next round of the tournament, and we also have Spain. These are teams with great pedigree. Spain, you recall, won the Euros in 2008 and 2012. So it shows you that it's a team that you can reckon with when it comes to the big one. And when you have a team like Italy, that's a team that knows how to play tournaments. They may not be the most exciting team in terms of the kind of football they play. They are highly defensive, but they are well organized. And the moment they get a goal against you, you are doomed. And that's exactly what they did to the Belgians yesterday. Belgians are one of the pre-tournament favorites, but unfortunately, the Italians drew the first blood, and before they could say Jack, they got a second.
Wow.
And it took a consolatory penalty from Lukaku to give them a kind of hope. But unfortunately, that was not good enough for them to see them through to the next round. So far, so good. I think the Euro is going very well. But the final at the Olympic, Stadio de Olympic in Italy will give us answers to all the questions that we're asking.
Thank you. The Euro 2020 round of 16, big teams have been knocked out. Teams like Germany, France, they have been knocked out. And guess what? Teams that knocked France, Germany out, they're actually in action. Some played on Friday, some will be playing on Saturday, while others might have been at home right now cooling their heels, those who could not make it to the next round. We are going to talk about all that and the games at the Copa America, and of course the Nigeria-Mexico friendly and the Nigeria athletic team, how they are preparing for the Olympics, in the next segment after this short timeout. Stay tuned.
The incentive of knowing one more goal will take him level with Cristiano Ronaldo on 5. Thomas Delaney and Mikkel Damsgaard are one yellow card away from suspension should Denmark progress. Denmark all in white to get us underway. Schick. Now Boschel, who's back from suspension. So far, Delaney got in the way. Delaney also a threat in the air. Christensen now on the toes of the goalkeeper. And it has come to Delaney, who has put Denmark in front. Fabulous header from Thomas Delaney. He's done that before for Denmark. So astute at set play, such a threat in the air.
That is, I mean, we've got two big teams out there, and you always felt set pieces may play a part, but he's free. I think it's actually Thomas Callas that follows the ball. I think he's initially marking Thomas Delaney, but a bit of ball watching.
Mail caught in possession. First real opportunity for Sofal to get forward. Here's Schick.
Damsgaard free, and like I said, never quite had the ball where he wanted it. Close enough. When he heads it, it's just a little bit far. Stretching really. Angles against him. Goalkeeper does well.
Welcome back to Sports Flashback on Rich TV. This is the segment whereby we discuss in details what has actually been going down in major sporting events like the Euro 2020, the Copa America, the Olympics, and of course, the friendly between Nigeria and Mexico. Raymond, the Euro 2020 quarter-final games went down on Friday. Some will be played on Saturday.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the games that went down?
In fact, Adaba, I think I'm having my fun. I'm enjoying myself. Yesterday it was great football artistry by very good sides. Yesterday we had the Italians pitching up against the Belgians, and I think that should be the strongest match in the pairing. And at the end of the day, it was the Italians who were the better. They defeated the Belgians by 2-1. Belgium is currently the #1 ranked team in the world, and they have always been, very close, but yet very far. They got to the, to the semis in the World Cup in 2018, and they finished third. So they have always been knocking on the door, and we expected that, with the kind of players they have, the quality of players they have currently, talk about the Lukakus of this world, the Eden Hazards, you know, the De Bruynes, we expected that they should go all the way, but unfortunately, I don't think they have what it takes, you know, when it comes to the big stage, and that's what Italy has just shown them, that they are the team, you know, for the big occasion. And after that game, we also had the Switzerland, or before that game, there was the Switzerland-Spain match. The Switzerland, you remember, in the round of 16 game, won via penalty against France after a possessing 3-all game in the full time. You know, after 90 minutes, it went into penalties, and they scored their 5 penalties, while Mbappe lost for the French side. But they were not this time lucky, as after playing a 1-1, you know, at full time with Spain, they lost during the penalty shootout. And that's why we say in football that penalty is a lottery. So you just have to kill off your game, you know, during the, you know, regulation time, so that it doesn't go into penalty, because penalty is anybody's game. But so far, so good. And I think we'll be expecting, you know, some good games tonight. We'll talk about the England-Ukraine match, and there's also the Czech Republic against Denmark. I expect the English to go through.
All right.
I'm also tipping the Danish.
Let me cut you short there.
Okay.
Big teams have been knocked out so far from this Euro 2020. The big teams like France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal. And people are now beginning to wonder, who are we actually going to see as the newest champion for Euro 2020? Me personally, if I'm allowed to tip, I'm actually tipping England. But of course, that is if after they are able to win Ukraine. What do you have to say? Who is your latest favorite? If you had to choose a favorite right now, to say, okay, among the teams remaining now, who do you think people can bank their money on?
Like I said before now, I have tipped the winner between the Belgium-Italy game to go all the way to win the trophy. So since Italy has been able, the Azuris of Italy, you know, eliminated the Belgians, I think the Azuris has what it takes to go around and all out to win the trophy. It's not that we are disrespecting the other teams in the tournament like Spain and England, like you have just rightly mentioned. But I just want to believe that when it matters most, the 3 Lions fizzle out. That's the English team. And the Spaniards, you know, something tells me that they seem to be gaining momentum, because they started very slowly during this tournament. They garnered just only 2 points in their first 2 games, you know, when they got the draw in their first 2 matches. But after that, in their last group game against Slovakia, they massacred them 5-0, and they have not looked back since after then. They have been winning their games convincingly, and that shows that they're beginning to find their form at the very right time. So I think it's a team you have to put an eye on. But having said that, I think my heart goes with Italy.
All right. Italy, Spain, England, and of course Denmark, the underdogs, are still remaining in the competition. Who emerges final on the last day? That's on July 11. Keep tuned to Rich TV, and we are going to brief you on who emerges final and how it went down. All right, let's talk about Copa America. Copa America, what has been going on in Copa America? Brazil, Argentina, making waves.
Yeah. The Copa America, I think the Brazilians are proving yet again that they are a very strong force to reckon with when it comes to international football. You know, besides the Brazilian, they are the highest exports of foreign players in the world. I think the next should be Nigeria in terms of that's what they know best. That's what they do. And in this Copa America, they're at home. I was privileged to be in Brazil 2014 World Cup, and I saw how things are done in Brazil. They have very excellent stadia. They have very good atmosphere, and of course the FA is giving them all the support that they need. And I'm not surprised that the Brazilians are doing very well in this Copa America. Just early this hours, they defeated Chile 1-0. And they're into the next round. They were playing Peru. Peru, we faced Paraguay, and they also beat Paraguay. So the winner, we have 2 games that will go down. One will go down today, another will go down tomorrow. You have Colombia, who is facing Uruguay, and you have Argentina, who is meeting Ecuador. So let's just keep our fingers crossed, and we hope that the better team or the best side will emerge victorious at the end of the day.
What happened to Chile? Chile, I think they are the current champions, right?
Yeah, Chile.
What happened to Chile?
Chile won the Copa American, 3 times in a row, consecutively. And it was Argentina, Messi. That's why a lot of people will say, if you want Messi to win with Argentina, just ensure that he wears the Barca jersey inside, because with Argentina he has not done that much. He's still looking for that elusive victory, whether with the World Cup or with the Copa America, and that is where Cristiano Ronaldo stands head and shoulder above Messi, because Ronaldo has won the Euros with Portugal. He has also won the the championship, Euro championship with Portugal. So that gets him he's just looking for the World Cup. If he has a World Cup to that, I think he will get a more.
All right. On Rich TV, we don't compare who is better between Ronaldo and Messi. Oga Raymond is on his own. Ronaldo is a good player. Messi is a good player. They can both come and meet us for sponsorship and partnership. We are ready to go. Oga Raymond, we don't compare on Rich TV.
I'm not really trying to compare, but I'm just saying this is how it is. I'm saying the obvious.
All right. He's saying his own obvious, not our obvious. All right, briefly, let's talk about the Nigeria-Mexico friendly. What's going down? Give us brief information, briefly.
Well, if you ask me, I think I'm not just particularly too happy with the way the friendly is going, or preparations and all of that, and the approach of the Nigerian coach. Just recently, the sports minister told the NFF that they should call Gernot Rohr, the Nigerian German tactician, to order, and I think it was a very apt one, because Gernot Rohr was employed to coach the Super Eagles. It doesn't matter whether it's home base Eagles, Eagles Team B, Super Eagles, for crying out loud, is Super Eagles. Why would Gernot Rohr not take charge of the team? He left the team with Austin Eguavon. As we speak now, Eguavon is finding it difficult to get his visa. I don't know if he has actually gotten into. It was Paul Aigbogun, who is with the team. And the team were still in Nigeria here. Gernot Rohr already went to US to go and wait for them. Why? That's not good enough. I believe that Gernot Rohr has a contract with Nigeria, and there should be things in that contract that he has to respect. And I think one of them should be taking charge of the Nigerian game, and not just the Super Eagles, but also helping to develop our game. Gernot Rohr hardly goes to league matches to watch matches. The most annoying part is that he doesn't even know the home-based player, because he doesn't go to watch matches. The team was selected by 4 coaches, from what we heard. It was Salisu Yusuf, who was his former assistant. It was Amaka Babu, and the likes of Amaka Babu that helped him with the team, and Austin Eguavon and co. And I think it's not good enough. He should put his eyes to the Nigerian league, because we have very good players in the Nigerian league who would think, if given the right atmosphere and given the right motivation, they will do well. But we expect that they should be able to do it.
So when is the game going down? What time is it going down?
It's going down early hours, today. Early hours.
Okay, it has been played already.
No,
Early hours on Sunday. Early hours on Sunday.
Yeah, it hasn't been
all
played.
right.
Because of time differential.
All right. Yeah. You help us keep an eye on the game.
That's no problem.
On the next episode, you will talk extensively about the game. Hope you don't mind we giving you that little assignment. We'll talk about it. All right. Briefly, let's talk about Nigerian athletic team. I heard that they have qualified for the relay.
Yeah, they did qualify for the 4x400 meter relay, but unfortunately, due to technical errors on the part of officials, that was cancelled by the World Athletics Federation. And that's a bitter one. I just can imagine how those athletes will be feeling right now. People who have made it to the Olympics for just the, I don't want to use a very strong word, let me call it the incompetence of our officials, or could I say negligence? Because these are very elementary things, rudiments of the sport. Very basic things that they should know. Really, if you don't have the lines, the tracks, if you don't have cones or railings at where they have to turn, the race will be disqualified. And I want to believe that our officials know this, but unfortunately, somebody didn't do his job, and that is why Nigeria has to pay dearly for that. And if you ask me, they should just get to the root of this matter and ensure that the person who was meant to do that get punished, because people can't continue to get away with such things at the expense of the country. That's a very big miss, and that's a very painful one, and I sympathize with those athletes, and I hope that the ministry and the Nigerian government should look into this and ensure that those who were meant to do their job, get the hammer for not doing.
All right. So, are we going to be represented in the Olympics athletics or not?
Yeah. We have other athletic teams that have qualified. We already qualified for the 4x100 meters, our female. Although unfortunately our male team did not make it.
All right.
Both in the 4x100 and the 4x400.
Okay.
But we still
all
have
right,
other
all right,
representatives.
all right. We wish everybody participating in the Olympics the best of luck from Rich TV, because it's not easy to be a competitor. Being in the Olympics alone is 100% a big deal. So we wish you all the best of luck. Before we go, today in history, do you have anything for us today in history?
Yeah, I think what I can remember now today in history is in 1994, today being July 3rd, Romania staged an upset against the big guns Argentina, beating them 3-2, in the round of 16. I think that was a very mighty upset, and it was a good one. It was a good one for the Romanians. And
all right, yeah. All right. If you don't know Mr. Raymond, now you know him. He's an encyclopedia of sporting events. Anything you ask, he always has an answer. He has refreshed our memories. I'm sure most of us were not even born then, but me, I was born. Fortunately, I didn't watch the match. So thanks for refreshing our memory.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Once again, we appreciate your presence at Sports Flashback.
Thank you so much.
You have made the program an interesting one for us, and I'm sure our viewers are refreshed and they are blessed.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here, and I love what I've just experienced here, and I hope you stay glued and continue to listen to us and subscribe as well.
Thank you.
That's very important. That's what keeps us in business.
All right, please promote Sports Flashback. Ask them to keep watching Sports Flashback. An editor, a former editor of Sports Day, weekend sports editor, has a message for you.
For all the sporting actions, please stay glued to Sports Flashback. That's where it happens. That's where it goes down. If you miss it, you have missed everything. Please don't touch the dial. Keep it locked.
Keep it locked on Sports Flashback.
And
please, I pray that whenever you want to change Sports Flashback, something else will come to your mind and you forget about changing it. You must keep it locked to Sports Flashback and Rich TV. If you have any opinion, or you have sponsorship, or you have ideas, or you have anything you want to share with us, please feel free to do so on any of the social media handles that will be appearing on your screen. And please don't stop watching Sports Flashback on Rich TV. Subscribe to Rich TV Nigeria. And until we come your way again on another sweet episode of Sports Flashback, I remain Chokube Adaba. Enjoy a sporting weekend ahead.